daily look here. Obviously, we talked about the lower highs and lower lows. It just kind of continues. We came into here, was it this morning, right? 25.8, right? So almost like a double bottom structure, just missed the low. To me, I think at this point, this whole range has just been chop solidating. So, range low, it makes sense to assume we're going to probably go back to the range high. Where do we put that higher low or that lower high that we kind of talked about from the macro picture? I don't know, maybe 28s, low 28s, high 27s again at some point before this inevitable range just kind of breaks down. So I'll be curious to see what happens going into next week. We talked about the Monday range usually. Now it's Thursday. Excuse me. And, we rejected from the Monday low here, and now we're kind of consolidating underneath. So I'm not necessarily bullish here, but I wouldn't be shorting this level until we kind of got a breakdown below maybe 26.2, 26.1. Probably prefer the longs from this juncture, right? Just from its near range low. What are you seeing there, Trip, on BTC?
Yeah, I mean, we had talked about it in the Telegram. I was kind of looking at the chart. Let me pull up Hyblock so you guys can see here. Well, I'll just pull up BTC actually. Let me share this tab here. Can you guys see this?
Yep.
So, yeah, I'd also like to just give I don't even really the term shout out, but some recognition to Spaceman, because the way that this indicator works, if people don't have it, you can get it for free on TradingView under indicators. Type in Spaceman levels, and I think it's called Spaceman
Key levels.
BTC key level.
Yep.
This one right here. And what it does is, we talk about these pivotal areas like weekly open, your Monday ranges, which are, your high, your low, your mid. You can look at the daily open, the previous weekly low, quarterly. So when I was looking at BTC today, I saw this move down here to 25.8. And it's like, these are things that I don't just like blindly long, right? But I do look at pretty much this previous weekly low in the daily open. So you reclaimed it, you came back down, and then you traded back above it. And so the decision to get long 26.3 here, I mean, it's pretty good invalidation. Like, you don't really want to come down, probably, I would say, below like 26.1, maybe even this wick here.
Yep.
This impulse up here into Monday low, yeah, this could seem like it's a good short, but this is probably a trap to short this, in my opinion. So as long as we stay above the previous weekly low, I see us pushing up to at least the weekly open.
Yep.
And then if we go past the weekly open, chances are you're probably going to trade to Monday's high and run that to where you could use this diagonal. You could start to look at liquidity. But like, this is basically a POB, right? This is a point of breakdown. You had price tried to go up here and you had an impulse down, right? So if you're reclaiming this POB, and this basically just an SR flip, POB is something Zoran and I use as terms just to help us, around the weekly open, then it becomes much more bullish. You'll probably have people long this at least to the Monday high. And typically when we run the Monday high, you come into resistance here, and we can look at what that looks like on a liquidity standpoint. Let me just pull up Hyblock. I'll switch my screen. And then you trade it level to level, just like we've basically been doing. And is that your lower high? I'm not sure. 27.5, could it be? 28.3 would be a really good place to have a lower high. And
your quarterly open.
Yeah, and it's also the 61.8 Fibonacci retracement back up of the whole move. I mean, look at this. This is like pretty robust liquidity, right, like up here, at least this, right? And you're pushing at 8 billion in shorts. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of green here. I mean, you can come down. This is 26.4. Basically, this is a massive cluster. Let's try to drop some granularity to see like if there's maybe some easier licks to target. Yeah, I mean, this one seems pretty obvious, 25.2, right? And then you could cascade just into like all of this, right? This is probably your real resistance, I would say, like
the POB of that breakdown below Monday high, essentially.
Yeah, and then you maybe get a delta flip people will be eager to short it, I think. So then you might get some distribution up there, right? Like kind of, like this type of stuff before you get a drop, or when you run these areas. This was interesting. It was like a staircase down into the high, and then it just boom, it nuked. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now in BTC. So I'm long BTC with a pretty clear invalidation, looking for that kind of like 27 to 27, like 27.3 to 27.5 area. Here's if we're pulling the fib here on this high, do you guys see this?
Yep.
We'd be coming back into like that, basically like this 61.8 is that SR flip that we talked about. So this is your kind of first trouble area, would be my guess. If you flip it, then you're probably going to trade higher. I don't know if you go back up to the previous weekly high, but
I feel like at that point you're breaking some market structure, and it almost will be.
Well, you're making a higher high out of this.
Yeah,
one right
yeah.
here. You're taking out this high, taking out this high. Does it just like go straight up and take out this high? Is that like your debt ceiling move potentially?
That could be, yeah.
I don't know, but I'm not incredibly bearish down here, mainly because of the delta and because we've reclaimed some key areas.